welcome people.
Yeah, we're going back to the daily bread of the roommates.
The roommates, man.
A very interesting topic.
It's always an interesting topic with roommates, man.
Honestly.
Always.
Red pill has become the male version of feminism.
Red
I'm
pill.
tired of this alpha male, seeing alpha male up and down for the last 2-3 years of my life on social media.
It's actually toxic. Both extremes.
Definitely.
So, with this whole, what do you call it,
Feminism.
red pill thing, then feminism. Oh my gosh, I can't even say the word properly. Feminism as well. Both sides, the extremes are just. I don't agree with it. Because you'll have one side that are saying, women are this, you shouldn't do this, women are that, don't do this. And then the other side, women are saying, the men are this and that and that. And it's just like, bruv, both of them are trying to just be superior rather than fighting for equality.
Exactly.
But, boy.
Oh, let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
If you are team feminist, if you do videos about men beating women, find that Andrew Tate clip of him saying something crazy and say that's his literal interpretation. There's more views in that. There's not views in being nuanced.
Yep.
There's way more views as a feminist to show the worst of the Andrew Tates of the world
100%.
versus to show his balanced perspective. In the same way in the male world, in the red pill world, there's...
Is that pajamas or is that actual shit? I don't know which one it is. It's a good shirt, man.
It's
That means.
10, 20, 50 extra money of showing
Yeah.
the worst of women. Showing.
Come out today about the CNN article about Andrew Tate, and I'm like, yo, you guys like really jumped out the window and are saying that his rhetoric is causing harm. You can't make statements like that without drawing a.
I paused too many times already, but after those pause again with this Andrew Tate thing, we need to discuss it at some point as well, But I just find it top G. I just find it so mad, that because again, I've kind of been watching Andrew Tate videos for a while now, like maybe like last year or maybe even it would have probably even been like 2020 because it was over like COVID years that I kind of found out about it. So it's been a while. And this was pretty much before like the whole kind of shorts and TikTok kind of blew properly and people are now seeing all these clips. So I was watching full in-depth things. And while there is a lot of crazy stuff that he does say in terms of like, obviously there's a lot of exaggeration. A lot of the points and the things that he's actually saying when you watch the thing is actually very, very true. So it's just mad that now when I see people talk about Andrew Tate and stuff like that, they're mentioning, oh yeah, this guy hates women or something like that. Or he said that he would do something. And then I'm just like, wait, have you guys even actually sat down and actually watched like a full-length conversation to actually know? And not just a 10-second thing? And I just find it so funny how all these media platforms now just jump and jump and jump. That's CNN now coming to just jump. What do they know about it? No, nothing. Just coming to jump. Everyone's now deplatforming him.
Yeah, I just got banned from Instagram.
Yeah, from Instagram, from WhatsApp, all of these things, Facebook, everything, Twitter. I was like, wait, this is funny. But yet, you guys want to be supporting, because he even said this example, that you guys want to be supporting, Lil Nas X twerking on the devil, or dancing on the devil. That's not harmful for children. But a guy that's highlighting his point of view is harmful. Anyway, we'll talk about that at another point, because...
is showing some type of empirical data. And you see the same thing from the red pill stuff. You see a lot of stuff said without a lot of data to back it up, but it's presented as, this is empirical, this is truth.
Oh man, bro, you just 75 ideas burst in my head. I was like, bro, this is so good. He said this is so good. Let's go backwards and we'll go backwards and we'll get to what you said at the beginning. So, I was gonna do a video. I hate talking about him. I'm done talking about him. But I'm gonna make this point because you brought this up. To me, what modern red pill is in 2022 is equivalent to what modern feminism is in 2022.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
It's
one is
just
for men,
inverted.
one is for women.
Yeah.
I agree.
And it's said to not be hostile towards the opposite sex, but it is.
And so here's what happens, what I found most interesting. Feminism started from a really good place. it came from a really good place. There was real life injustices that were going on with women.
Mm-hmm.
They were not heard. They were not spoken about. And people were bringing light to it as well as solutions.
Mm-hmm.
The red pill, very similar. Started from a very good place. Issues going on with men. Nobody talked about it. Men were being belittled. Men were being treated like second. Like these things were true. It then devolves. Feminism started good. It devolves. Red pill started good. It devolved. And then what happens is, this is what's so interesting. Like, because me, by being around both people, I literally hear it twice.
Yeah.
What the feminists will say is, well, those people don't represent feminism, right? Big Red in the documentary, The Red Pill, which is totally different than actual Red Pill, but Big Red, the typical feminist figure that's always in the memes, like, she's not feminism. These leftist extremists who are protesting Jordan Peterson's talks, they're not feminism. You know what I mean? Like, they're not us. That's not who we stand for. Those are the extremists of our groups. This is what we really stand for. Then what do you see on the red pill stuff? Oh, those guys who do that content, that's not what it is. That's not what it stands for. That's not who we are. They're the extremists. So what everybody does, and Francis, my friend Francis, calls it steel manning. I like to call it golden cap, but let's take it steel man. They steel man their argument and they straw man the others. You know what I mean? They paint themselves as the most idealistic, purest philosophy, pragmatology, whatever the heck they want to call it, right? And then they paint the other person as a worst typical garbage online, and you can have content for it, right? So what's interesting about what they do with Andrew Tate, to me, is what the guys do with the feminist stuff. Go and find... You can find content from different people and find their worst moment, clip it, do a reaction video and say, this is who they are, this is what they stand for. You can do that with anybody. And so to me, it's so interesting that you said that, because that's what I've seen going on. You know what I mean?
I think I got to the core of the difference. And you tell me what you think about it.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break to go ahead and talk to you guys about our...
The high end of the spectrum for women, we're not talking about outliers, is 70. So the average healthy man's testosterone is 10x that of the higher end of the spectrum of a woman. Now, any guy who's ever had low testosterone or gone through a season of depression and you're like, I'm depressed, and you find out it's your testosterone because your testosterone is really 200-300, right? Or guys that have abused testosterone and then they have to, right? Knows how different you feel without the right amount of testosterone. 100%. Right? And women who have injected themselves in testosterone knows how different they feel when their testosterone shoots through the roof. So this idea on the feminist side is that we're the same. We're not the same. We're very different. And even with the Leah Thompson and reducing of trans athletes to get it to that with it, like totally different. Like even Leah Thompson's testosterone was double that of a healthy woman's high end of testosterone. So I think the biology is just completely wrong. It's just nonsense. You don't, anyone that knows anything about what testosterone does to a boy when he hits puberty, we're different. And that's a good thing, right? On the red pill side, I think the crux of it is a misunderstanding of women's mating strategies. Alpha lays, beta pays. Women have dual mating strategies. Alpha seed, beta need. Get the seed from the alpha and let the beta take care of it. This is nonsense. This has been disproved by Dr. David Buss. Less than 2% of people who have babies are actually not their biological father, meaning that if you have a baby, like less than 2% is like the postman or the side piece. This is, women mate with people who can be long-term providers. That's who they're after. And women cheat for very different reasons than men cheat. Women cheat because they feel non-romantic. So the alpha pays, beta lays, which has been debunked, the dual mating strategy has been debunked by evolutionary psychologist David Buss and everyone else, is literally the crux of the red pill. You hear this all the time, alpha lays, beta pays. Well, if you believe women are out here trying to smash the Chad and let the goober be the dad, of course you're gonna have a hostility and a warped view towards goober. I think that's the core two differences, and it's all rooted on bad, faulty pseudoscience.
No, this is really good, man. I think that's definitely something that I'm glad that you shared it like that, because I haven't thought about it under that premise, and I think that's really good. And I think to me it's also it's also really founded, like I said, when you look at both of the movements, and when you look at what both of these people are dealing with, what both people really feel is a feeling of powerlessness.
Yep.
They feel like you said, like this is deep powerlessness that both people are feeling, and the primary person that's causing me to be powerless is the other gender. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so, no, I agree with you. And the fundamental part that the reason why I don't want to talk about it, and for all the adult childs who do videos about people instead of being with your actual children are going to react to this. My thought process is I am not going to debunk this with facts, studies, or my opinions, because the people who are in this ideology are so trenched in this ideology. It's a religion.
Yeah.
It's a religion now. What's going to debunk this is the results.
Come on. Yeah.
That's where it is.
Yeah.
10 years from now, there's going to be a grand reckoning, because I have a lot of ideas. I'll tell it to you on camera. There's going to be a great reckoning for men, because you'll have the guys who follow one philosophy and guys who follow a different philosophy, and then there's going to be the results.
Yep. Yep.
There's a reason why pickup is dead in 2022. It didn't work. It did not work. It was a short-sighted ideology that a lot of men were drawn to. It didn't have long-term success. And the point that you brought up to me, which is so freaking funny, is you said something about a lot of these content creators are cosplay. I thought that was fantastic. Like that's exactly the way I think about it, because it's like, I talked to a lot of the guys in the Standard about this, and I told people this. I said, the internet, the people online are not who you think they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's so many names I could mention, and you see them online. This is not what they really believe.
Right.
There is people got to understand this, and I showed the guys my actual financial figures in the Standard. There is an incentive structure for a certain type of content. You get paid more. If you are team feminist, if you do videos about men beating women, find that Andrew Tate clip of him saying something crazy and say that's his literal interpretation. There's more views in that. There's not views in being nuanced.
Yep.
There's way more views as a feminist to show the worst of the Andrew Tates of the world
100%.
versus to show his balanced perspective. In the same way, in the male world, in the red pill world, there's 10, 20, 50 extra money of showing the worst of women, showing complete confirmation bias, and that's why one of them is literally Fox News and CNN. It's Fox News and CNN. You know they're both not the news. Right. You know,
What?
It's not just the Fox News and
And
CNN.
it's not, because we come here, gosh, boy, don't get me started on all the media outlets here, bro. Wow. Yeah, I feel like that last point there that they were making in terms of like, you shouldn't just like look or take these a lot of content creators for their face value. A lot of them are cosplayers. Like that's actually a brilliant description. A lot of them are wearing a mask. A lot of them are not the actual people. Like they're characters. They're actors. Because again, like part of the whole thing, especially the way like YouTube and stuff is, you have to have a certain personality to kind of blow up. So a lot of them are playing up for it as well. So guys, be careful. People, be careful. Like when you're consuming the content, don't take everything straight as for face value as well, because you also need to realize that a lot of these people are doing this for their living, so they will do whatever. Hence the whole what do you call it, clickbaiting and all that kind of stuff. People will literally demonize somebody just so that their video can potentially get views.
And as they keep telling lies, some of them most probably believe their own lies. There's also actually believe the stuff they've been, saying and putting out there. So it's just mad. Because
if you imagine, I watched one video. Just I watched your this guy that you put me on that does the what am I saying? It's gone blank. the housing and all of that.
Samuel Leeds.
Samuel Leeds.
Yeah.
So I was watching. I went down the spiral. I was watching like all the different content because again, there's a lot of interesting stuff there. And I came across one video of this boy. What's his name? Poku Banks or whatever it is.
Oh yeah.
And he was trying to interview there, and he basically tried to say that Samuel Leeds is a fraud, that he doesn't know what he's doing, anything like that. And again, someone that would have watched Boku Banks' video or whatever would have just taken it. Like, he put him in the description saying that this guy's a false, what do you call it? 100%. A false, what's the term that he even used? But basically, he doesn't know what he's saying. Yeah. And all this kind of stuff. And when they sat down, you could really see who knew and who didn't know, because it was hilarious.
It was.
It was actually hilarious.
It was so hilarious.
I was just like, is this even for real? But again, it just goes to show that people will say anything really, definitely, just to, without no evidence, without no truth or proof, just to kind of, get a point across.
The media social media is a scary place.
Very scary, man. Very scary.
It's a scary place, man.
Very scary. And the thing is, that's a bit annoying about it is that, obviously, I feel like social media, the reason why social media kind of picked up was because, like, mainstream media was very just, there was a lot of politics behind it. There was, we already know, like, government and all this kind of stuff for funding it and all that kind of stuff. But the reason why I thought social media would be different is that you have individuals that can come and speak the truth, and actually there's no other incentive behind it. But no, it hasn't turned out to be like that.
Nope.
It's turned out to be something even worse. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But
yeah, just as they say, but in the real context, be awoke and just know, please, let's have our own minds.
That's it. Have your own minds.
Even if you watch this content, watch it. It's just entertainment.
That's it.
It's like wrestling.
That's it.
Entertainment.
Like, even me, anything I watch, like, nobody. I don't view any human as being perfect.
Yeah.
So even if you're watching us, you can watch it. It doesn't mean that you should take everything that we're saying, verbatim, and take it for face value, kind of thing. Also, weigh it up with your beliefs and what you've been taught, and ultimately what you think is true as well. Weigh it up. But don't just be listening to something and just take it.
And as he says a lot, do your research.
Do your research. That's what I tell everyone. Do your research. Do your research, man. Do your research. Again, and I'm not going to go into too much detail. Again, for me, I don't know, when I was growing up, and I discovered the internet, I went down a lot of spirals, spirals in all this conspiracy stuff. So the whole Illuminati, Freemason, all of that kind of stuff, I went down the traditional spirals and stuff like that. So I now started to do more research to now kind of understand more. Same thing with all this wokeness as well, the black wokeness and stuff like that. Again, there are some truths, but again, you have to also do your research with some of these stuff as well. Because there was a point, that you couldn't tell me anything, Listen, everything black is right. You couldn't tell me nothing.
Black is the truth.
Black is truth. But again, you also have to deep that some of these content creators, this is their living. So they also need to sell. They need to make content that's going to get views. Yeah. If that means maybe making something look more than it is, they will do that. Everyone needs to kind of watch these things like, okay, what is the alternative agenda behind it? What else is this person benefiting from putting this video out, kind of thing. And weigh it up.
100%. Well, guys, I hope you come to logical conclusions from this discussion. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.
Yep.
Until next time.
Peace.